verse 12 through 14, then we're going to drop down to 20 to 22. It records like this. And on the morrow, when they were come from Bethany, he was hungry. And seeing a fig tree afar off having leaves, he came, if haply he might find anything thereon. And when he came to it, he found nothing but leaves. For the time of figs was not yet. And Jesus answered and said unto it, no man eat fruit of thee hereafter, forever. And the disciples heard it. I'll drop down to verse 20. It says like this, in the morning, as they passed by, they saw the fig tree dried up from the roots. And Peter called to remember and said to him, Master, behold, the fig tree without thou curses is withered away. And Jesus said this statement and said, and Jesus answered, saying to them, have faith
in God.
In
God.
God.
Yeah.
Will you bow you with me and pray?
Amen.
Father God, in the name of your glorious and marvelous Son, Jesus.
Yes, God.
Lord, we just come to level you, Father.
Yes,
For the word of God said you loved us,
yes.
so we can love you back.
Yes.
And you said the love of God is shed abroad in our hearts.
Yes.
Father, we thank you that the overflow love that you've given the believers.
Yes.
We thank you, Lord God,
Thank you, Lord
for
God.
caring so much for us.
Yes.
That you wouldn't dare come off the cross.
Yes.
And Lord God, we celebrate your life,
Yes.
your burial and your resurrection.
Yes.
And Lord God, we say thank you.
Thank you, Lord.
Lord God, we give you glory, Lord God. We give you honor, Lord God. We give you praise, Lord God. We glorify your name, Lord God. We exalt you in this place, Lord God. You're magnificent, Lord God. We declare like the songwriter, Lord God. He said, there's none like you, Lord God. There's none to be compared to you, Lord God. Lord God, so we thank you, Lord God, even in this place, Lord God. We thank you when everything is going right, Lord God. Thank you when things are not going so right, Lord God. We thank you when we're on the mountaintop, Lord God. Thank you, Lord God, when we're in the valley, Lord God. We have learned, Lord God, the art of how to be content, Lord God. Lord God, we content in you, Lord God. Father, our life is found in you, Lord God. Lord God, we thank you right now. Lord, we ask you to go before the word now. Plow up every fallow ground right now. Rebuke every spirit that's not like you, Lord God. As we plead the blood of Jesus, Lord, around somebody's house, around somebody's body, somebody's mind right now, Lord God. We ask you to regulate it right now, Lord God. Bring them back to service right now, Lord God. Lord, we rebuke every distraction, Lord God. The spirit of loneliness right now, Lord God. Right now in the name of Jesus, Lord God. Lord God, I thank you.
Thank you, Lord.
Lord, fill somebody.
Yes.
Fill them up right now, Lord God. Lord God, only you, Lord God, can provide refills today, Lord God. Only you right now, Lord God.
Only you.
In the middle of the wilderness, Lord God.
Yes, Lord.
You can make water run, Lord God. Only you can do it, Lord God. So, Lord God, we ask you right now, Lord God.
Right now, Lord God.
Fill them, Lord God. Lord, till they want no more. And Lord God, we thank you. For what you're about to do.
Yes, God.
In Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name.
Amen.
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 Mama preached so good last Sunday. I had to revisit the text. Amen. I'm not going to so much get into removing mountains. Amen. But our sermon was eviction.
Yeah.
Amen. Amen. I don't know about you, but Mama was serious about that. Some of us need to go home, go some places.
Yeah.
And whatever don't belong there,
Yeah. Get it out.
get it out of there.
Get it out.
Amen. Get it out
Amen.
of
Amen.
there. But she's preached on the latter verses of that, but I want to touch on the previous verses that led to eviction time.
All right.
But before I even really get to that, this is the Christian season. We'll recall that we'll be celebrating here within a week or so, what we call Christmas. Bless. And we want to make sure that in the midst of that we keep Christ
That's it. In the middle.
In the middle
That's right. Amen.
of it.
That's right. Amen.
When we giving out gifts and we're receiving gifts, that we remember that the greatest gift of all
Yes.
that God gave us
Yeah.
was
His son, Jesus.
His Son.
That's right.
Amen.
Amen.
As
Emmanuel.
we look at our text this morning, we're going to look at it through the eyes and lens of a young man named John Mark,
All right.
who was under the tutelage of a mentor at a particular time under, we call Peter. Peter mentor or tutored this young man named Mark. But Mark's presentation of the gospel is different than John, is different than Matthew, and it's also different than Luke. The beautiful thing about the gospel is that God allowed us to record or speak it the way that we see it.
That's right. That's right.
Because there's no two persons who see the same incident
No, they
reported
don't.
the
That's
same
right.
exact way.
That's right.
And that's why the gospel is that we can believe it, because it's through the lens and the eyes of different eyewitnesses. In this particular text, that is two eyewitnesses that speaks about this in two different ways. Matthew sees it different than Mark sees it.
That's right. That's
The
right.
reason why, because Matthew concentrates on the divinity or the kingship of Jesus.
All right.
But Mark deals with the humanity of
Yes.
Jesus.
That's right. That's right.
Mark wants us to show you that Jesus is God's man.
That's right.
He wants us to see that
Yeah.
divinity is wrapped up
Come
in
on now.
humanity. He wants us to see
Wow.
that compassion is in
Wow.
humanity. He wanted us to see the God man.
Yeah.
And as we celebrate Christmas, what we celebrate is the God man.
Man. All right.
When Simeon, the old man, arrived in the temple, when Mary and Joseph was there, and baby Jesus
Come
was
on,
in the
Pastor.
midst.
Come on here. Yeah.
And Jesus promised, God promised to Simeon that he will not die until he sees the
That's
God
right. That's right.
man.
Yeah.
And John said the God man became flesh and it dwelled among
Look
us.
at here now.
We talk about the God man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so
yeah.
much that in the book of Mark talks about, in the first chapter, it talks about the God man, because they said they never seen someone speak with this type of authoritative
That's right. That's
ability.
Yeah.
And even when Jesus was on the ship, when he began to speak to the waves in the sea, and they said, what man of man
Man,
is
is
this?
this?
They was talking about the God man.
Yeah.
And so as we look at our text this morning, we want to talk about the God man.
All right.
Because it's important to talk about the God man, because the God man comes to show us what man can do.
That's right.
And so
That's
he
right.
comes to identify with us, to show us the ability, the power that we possess
That's right.
as being God's children.
That's it.
So you
That's
have to understand that Jesus can be touched with the feeling of our infirmities, because he knows how it feels to deal with things within this human flesh.
Yeah.
But more than that, brothers and sisters, that you have to learn something from the God man. The God man is going to teach us what we have lost with Adam.
Yeah.
When Adam first came on the scene, that God said to Adam, whatever you name,
Yeah. Look
that's going
at
to be his name. The first thing that God was teaching
Yeah.
Adam was about speakology. That means that whatever you speak will come to pass.
That's right. Amen.
Because before Adam came on the scene, God spoke this world into
Yeah, he
existence.
did. Yeah,
He
he
called
did.
those things to be not as they
though
were,
they are.
and then it
That's
began.
right.
He been talking about plantations, he talked about the plants, and he talked about that, and he did everything else. But when Adam came on the scene,
Yeah.
he said, Adam, I'm going to show you
Yeah.
what I'm able to do,
Uh-huh.
so you can do it.
That's right.
And so whatever Adam named, it was so.
That's it.
But when Adam sinned and committed high treason, or he committed transgression, what happened that man stopped speaking in authoritative ability. We've seen it a little bit in the Old Testament when Joshua began to speak to the sun and said, Lord, I need an extension. But we've seen it here and there, but in the New Testament, and before Jesus came on the scene, we had nobody speaking to things, or nobody speaking to situations. And Jesus wanted to teach his disciples how to speak
That's right.
to situations. And And see, brothers and sisters, you don't understand what you don't understand. For a long time, the enemy has been using your voice.
Look, Pastor, what now?
To work his services.
That's
so let me help you. Let me help you. The enemy has been using your voice.
Yeah.
To work for him. Because you don't know how powerful your mouth is.
That's right.
Because the scripture says that death and life is in the power of the tongue, and those who love it shall eat of it.
That's right.
See, brother, sister, you don't understand that you got the ability and the power to build up.
That's it.
If you got a no good man,
watch out, Pastor.
build him up.
Yeah.
Build him up. Don't call him. Oh, you messing my son. Don't call him lazy. Don't call him no good. Don't tell him what don't tell him that. Don't tell him all that. You tell him I can see you making 6 figures. Oh, bless you right now. I know you can do it. I know you got the ability to do it. I know you want to be the man of the house. You gotta work your way to. You got the power to build that man up. And for a long time, we allow the enemy to use our voice, to use our tongue, and to use our mouth to work his services. He don't need his imps. He don't need the demons. When he got you doing his work. You're a born-again believer speaking like an unbeliever. But a true believer speaks life into the individual. And that's what he's saying. That's what he's saying. That you got the power. You got the power. You got the ability to change things in your house. Instead of you complaining about it, start telling your girlfriend about it. Instead of putting everything on Facebook and everybody texting it, why don't you begin to speak existence into that man's life? It'll change things. It'll change things. How you know? Because Abraham's body was dead. Huh? It was dead. He was dead. Close to 100 years old. And the Bible said he called those things to be not as they were. He spoke life back into existence of his body. He understood the power of speaking.
That's right.
The Bible said we could tame every animal under the sun. Any animal you can do, any animal that is ever out there was able to tame it. But if a man know how and a woman know how to tame his tongue,
watch out. That's it.
He's a weapon of mass destruction.
That's right.
She's a master of mass destruction because the Bible says that the tongue is set a forest on fire. Nobody can put it out once it gets started. Because once you speak it, it's out there. It's not going to return back to you void. Some of y'all think you see words you can't take it back. There's a lot of things in our life that we can take back, but once the words go to fruition, it got to run the course. It got to run the course. It got to run in course. So if you say that your husband or your daughter going to be like this, going to be like that, when it turn out like it, you done prophesied.
That's right, already.
You already prophesied their doom. You already tell them what they're going to be like. But you see, everybody here, that's what Paul said, I desire that you all prophesy. Hey man, you don't tell me, you got to be a prophetess.
No, you don't.
Or a prophet. You go home and you prophesy over your son and over your daughter. Speak it.
That's it. Amen.
Jesus is going to teach them about speakology. Jesus is going to teach them how to open up your mouth.
I like that, speakology.
You gotta open up your mouth. Y'all like to do it. That's why you don't like praise.
That's it. Hallelujah.
It puts you on a whole different frequency than the devil could bear to handle. He don't understand praise.
No, he don't.
He don't understand. He don't understand in the midst of your circumstances.
Jesus.
You can still say thank you, Jesus.
Thank you, Jesus.
He don't understand. He don't understand it because he thinks that you got to get something from God to thank God.
That's it.
That's what Job messed him up. Job messed him up. When I'm going to get to my sermon, Job messed him up. He confused him, say, if I strip Job of everything, he ain't going to say thank you, Jesus. If I take his family from him, he ain't going to still be obedient to you. But what he did not understand.
My. Wow.
That Job got in the midst of it said, blessed be.
Yeah, the name of the Lord. I'm going to bless him. Come on here.
Of the Lord. Despite my circumstances. Despite my situation.
That's right.
I'm still going to open up my mouth.
That's right.
Praise the Lord.
And praise the name of the Lord our God. In the midst of our text, in the midst of our situation, the Bible said that Jesus was leaving Bethany, the house of bread, And as he was leaving the house of bread, the Bible says that the God-man was hungry.
Yeah.
Mark want to let us know that Jesus was flesh and blood.
That's right.
And he has
That's right.
desires and he has cravings.
Just like we do.
Just like you and I.
That's right. Amen.
He says that
Amen.
Jesus was hungry.
Yes.
And he says, in a far off,
Yeah.
he sees a fig tree
Yeah. With green leaves on it. Come on now. Yeah.
with leaves
Uh-huh.
on it.
Mm-hmm.
He said far off.
Yeah. He wasn't close to it.
From distance and where he was at,
Yeah.
he see the leaves because the leaves was an indication
Mm-hmm. There was figs on there.
that was fruit
On the tree. Right.
on the tree.
That's right.
Because you have to understand fig trees that the leaves and the fruit grows at the same time. Grows at the same time. So he was under the assumption because he was hungry. And so he looks at the fig tree
Yeah.
and automatically assumed because the leaves was there,
Yeah, there's gonna be some fruit there.
it had to be some fruit
I tell you, take your
On
time and
the-
preach that.
the tree.
Yeah.
But as he got closer,
Look now. Let's
the master realized
Uh-oh.
that there was no fruit on
On that tree.
the tree.
Yeah.
And Jesus, realizing that there was no fruit on the tree, because the text says it was out of season.
That's right.
Is that it wasn't season for the fruit to be on the tree. But the problem was that the leaves was on the tree and not the fruit
Yeah.
in the season.
Come on, Pastor. Come on.
So it tells me in my particular text that you can be in the right climate and still not bloom.
All right.
That's what I'm saying, that you can be in the right church
Yeah, come on here.
and still not produce
All right, no fruit.
no fruit. It tells me you can look the look
Look now. Yeah, still not bearing fruit.
and still not bear the fruit. It tells me you can say hallelujah, bless his name. You can say that you're highly
Come
favored
on now. Look.
and still not be favored.
That's right. Amen.
Jesus says that this tree was in the right climate. The tree was in the right soil,
Right.
but it still didn't bear any
Any fruit?
fruit. From a distance, it looked like any other fig tree.
Yeah.
But when you get up close,
Uh-oh. Wow.
you realize what is a fig tree
Yeah.
without figs?
That's right. Yeah, it ain't good for nothing. Come on here now.
Well, you see what I'm saying? What is the use to having a fig tree? It's called a fig tree because, not because of the leaves,
That's right.
because of the fruit.
That's it. Amen.
All it did was take an appearance of the name, but it didn't have any fruit. That's just like a born. That's just like people saying I'm saved,
Watch out, Pastor. You preaching in this house.
but I have no fruit.
Preach in this house. Take your time and preach.
That's the same. It's the same thing. It's the same thing that you take on the label of being a Christian,
All right.
but you have no fruit.
That's it. Come on.
That you have no fruit. That you have no fruit. That you have no fruit. The problem with this tree right here is that it was in the right climate. It was in the right weather, but the problem was that it didn't have any fruit.
Yeah.
It was non-productive.
That's right.
It was unfruitful.
Yeah.
And here it is that the master is hungry and he needs something to eat. And then when he gets there, thinking he'll get something to eat, only find out that it doesn't have what it says that it's supposed to have. What you saying? What you saying, Pastor? What I'm saying is that some people just like the fig tree. They look the part, they play the part, but they're not the part. Now the problem that Jesus is facing now is that what do I do with a tree that's non-productive? And what the Bible says that he did to the tree. The Bible says that he says to the tree, no man shall eat the fruit of thee here and after. Matthew says, he says that no fruit shall grow on the fruit here and after. What does Jesus tell? And the Bible says that. You can read the text. The Bible says, because I already read it, the Bible says that, and the disciples listened, or the disciples heard Jesus speak. So that means that Jesus spoke out loud, so the disciples can hear what he was saying. Okay? Now let's drop down to verse 20. Now look what it says. And in the morning, as he passed by, they saw the fig tree dried up from its roots. Jesus says that no man would eat of it hereafter. And as they're leaving, and they said, and they see that the fig tree, that the very fig tree that Jesus spoke to, dried up from its roots. They have never seen someone before speak to something that's not human. The Bible's teaching us something here, that you can speak to things and you can curse it.
Yeah.
Things that's not productive, things not good for you. I learned this lesson. I remember I told my story here because I got the mic. I told the story that I used to have this old gray van. This man gave me. He probably just wanted to get rid of it. I needed it because I needed to drive the kids in it. That thing was probably about 25, 30 years old. You had to pour gas in the carburetor and pump on the gas to get it started.
I remember them days.
To get it started, I would get in that thing faithful, the ceiling dropping a little bit. We just going to basketball tournaments, we going this place. But then one day I drove up to the church, went to park this thing, and I just couldn't get out. I couldn't get out. I was frustrated. I couldn't get out this thing, and I had to have a talk with the van. Me and the van had a conversation. Me and the van had a conversation, Dave. We had a conversation. And I was just letting him know that this is going to be the last day that you're going to ever see me in this van. I talked to her. I said, this is going to be the last day that you're going to see me in this van. I'm going to send you to the junkyard. And we had a conversation for about 5 or 10 minutes. And I left the keys right in the van. And I locked all the doors. Because I wasn't about to get back in it. And I shut the door. And the next day, I called them to come and take that van. And they took that van away. But I spoke that God's going to give me another van. And sure enough, I got that green van.
Green machine.
That green machine. You remember that green machine? And I can't remember. I was looking through somewhere, for a van, and the guy said it was posted, and he's like, this costs $4,500, but I need you to get that in 2 days. I told the guy, I got it. I didn't have it. But God miraculously gave us that money, $4,500, in 2 days. But it was not until I spoke to that gray van and told that gray van, I'm not getting it anymore. What I'm trying to say is the God man is trying to teach us, what he's trying to teach his disciples, that we have to learn how to speak to things. Because what you don't understand, that believe it or not, things speak to you. Okay, let me help you. When your bill come in the mail and you can't afford to pay for it, what does it say to you?
Hey.
How you respond to it tells me that it speaks to you. Because automatically some of us get depressed, right? Some of us start go running and don't pay it, the bill collector comes. See, it speaks to you, but you never speak back to it. Instead of you, so see, you let everything put you on a run instead of you putting it on the run. Because you fail to understand the power that God has given you within your mouth to be able even to speak to that situation. And so you can speak to, you know, you're broke, you got to speak to that thing. Right? You got to tell yourself, I'm not going to always be broke. You got to speak to it. You have to speak to that situation. I know you're talking about, Pastor, this sounds crazy. I know the disciples, this sounds crazy too. That his master going to speak to a tree.
Yeah. Take them foolish things.
And he did that so they could hear. And so I'm trying to tell you, you do it all the time anyway. So you might as well do it properly and get blessed from doing it.
That's right. That's right.
Instead of all the time just hitting bills, it could be your husband, it could be sickness, whatever it could be, but you have to speak to that situation.
That's right. That's right. Amen.
You have to speak to it. I'm going to get to it. This way it said, and in the morning, as they passed by, they saw the fig tree dried up from the root. And look what happened. Jesus killed it right at the root. Right there. So it would never, ever go again. He killed it at the cause of it right there.
That's
See, right there. He just,
right.
so it could right. Look, it happened immediately. He spoke. The next day they seen it. Boom.
Yeah, it's gone.
It's gone. You got to understand, a fig tree is 20 feet tall. Ain't no little tree. He spoke to that big tree, and that big tree withered up right then and there.
That's right.
Because the power of the word, while they slept, the word was working.
That's right. That's right.
That's why you should go to sleep.
That's it. Amen. Let the word do what it
Yeah, that's why you should go to sleep. That's why you should go to sleep. You shouldn't worry. You shouldn't worry about, let the words do what it's called, what it's supposed to do.
That's right.
You go to sleep. Why Jesus didn't sleep? Because the next morning, they was on that journey, and when they look, boom. Right down to the root. Okay, we're going to get to the good part. And Peter called it to remembrance, said to him, Master, behold, the fig tree which thou cursed is withered away.
Away.
Look what he says to him. And Jesus answered and said to him, have faith
And God.
in God. This was interpreted in the Hebrew. It says that have the God kind of faith. Now, what is the God kind
Help us there. Help us.
of faith?
Help us.
The God kind of faith is that when you speak to situations,
All
the
right.
situation have to change.
Got to change. That's right.
No, that's what I said. The situation have
That's it. Have to change.
to change.
Yeah. Stay the same. Amen. Amen.
Because God has given us the authority
That's right.
to change situations.
That's it. Yeah, he has.
We change agents.
Yeah.
Because Matthew says it's like this, the same way that I spoke to the fig tree, the same way you can speak to the mountain.
That's right.
He was saying that the God man was telling them and showing them the same way that I speak to things, the same way you can speak to things.
That's right. That's right.
You can speak to it.
Yeah.
You can things that you think can't be removed, it can be moved.
That's right. Amen.
They can move. They can't be moved. Jesus saying that I want y'all to have the God kind of faith, the kind of faith that begins to speak.
That's it.
But you got to believe
Yeah.
what you're speaking.
That's right. Amen.
Okay. No, look what I'm trying to say. You got to believe
That's right. That's right.
what's coming out your own mouth.
Amen. 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 Amen.
You got to believe it. You got to believe it. Because if you don't believe it, whatever you speak to,
Ain't gonna believe it.
ain't going to believe it.
That's right. Amen. Amen.
Ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen. Did I tell you? I was watching Twilight. Oh, shit. My daughter got me into Twilight. I don't know what Twilight. I know what that stuff was. 1, 2, 3, and 4. The Holy Spirit said, don't do it, big Prince. Sit upstairs, don't do it. Michelle, I said, I got you. That flesh ain't come. She kind of. I was watching one of the songs, right? Another segment came on 2. I thought I'm gonna put it down. I'm gonna read that today. After this one, I'm gonna read. You know what I'm gonna read? Shoot, I didn't read nobody.
All right, Pastor.
I thought, but it got me, brother James. It got me. Now I was up to about 3, 4 of them. I watched them all. Shit, I watched them all. I said to myself, I'm gonna go upstairs and pray. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't talking about. I told myself, I try to psych myself out. No, but I know I ain't gonna pray. I'm gonna pray upstairs. Something I'm talking about. I'm gonna pray, Lord. I'm gonna go upstairs and pray. So I'm gonna go upstairs and pray, listen, I'm here, right? So I'll go upstairs and I try to meditate. Some said, open your eyes. College is sleeping. She knocked out. Oh my!
Uh-oh, Twilight.
That pale fella, what's his name? Y'all know. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Ain't the only one. Father, in the name of Jesus. Touch her. Touch her right now. Tristan, don't watch this thing. And we showed up. He showed up. I mean, Sean's true story. He showed up. He looked at me. I looked at him. He said, Ram is on. That fella went from the doorway. He jumped up like that. He landed on me. Had me pinned down. About to bite me on my neck. True story, true story. True story. I said, I plead the blood of Jesus.
The blood don't do it.
Right? He said, keep on pleading. Keep on pleading. I'm quoting from Genesis to Revelation. He said, Ram, I ain't going nowhere. He said, Ram, I ain't going nowhere, Ram. I couldn't move. I looked over for help. Call like I don't know, he put a spell on collar. Wait, he did the collar. Wait. Because the right, she was knocked out. No. She was just like the disciple, The spirit is willing. You're talking about he had the disciples in a comatose. Coma just knocked out. I need help, babe. That fella was like getting the best of me. I said, Rad, it's gonna be an all-nighter. He told me it's gonna be an all-nighter. He told me it's gonna be an all-nighter. See, he wanted to see is I believe was coming out of
Out of your mouth. That's right. Amen.
We went all night. We boxed all night. But I tell you what, he got off me.
All right.
Because I believe what was coming
That's right.
out of
Wow.
my mind.
Yeah.
I learned the situation the hard way. So you can learn from Red. No Twilight. No Harry Potter.
Amen.
No Exodus movies.
Amen.
No Chuckies. No whatever y'all watch.
All right.
So it's like, oh, I can't go to movies. You talk, well, you go some rounds you want. But you better make sure you can fight Edward.
All right. Better make sure. Amen.
You better make sure. Better make sure you got something in you because you can't rebuke them. You can't plead the blood of Jesus. You can't do that stuff.
All right.
Watch what happens.
That's it.
But again, he wanted to see if I believe what was coming out of my mouth. And so if you don't believe it,
That's right.
it shall never happen.
That's right.
But the Bible said you can't doubt. You have to, when you're speaking, you really have to believe it.
That's right.
That means that if you speak that your husband will be, but he's gonna be a good man. Right?
You gotta believe that.
Y'all believe it? Don't go back and tell him something you're no good. You believe it. Because your mouth just told me that what you did is contradict what you said previously.
Right.
So you're going to cancel out what you already said. So you hear Jesus take it back and say, no, I wish I never cursed that fig tree. When Jesus spoke to that fig tree, he meant what he said.
That's right. That's right.
He meant that no man would ever eat of you again
That's right.
because you're not productive.
That's right. Amen. Amen.
And he wanted to teach the disciples that if you want anything moving up in your life,
All right.
because we got some things in our lives
Yeah. Come on now.
that need to be done with
Yes.
at the root of it,
That's right. That's right.
the cause of it.
Amen.
The cause of this thing was dealing at the root level. So the problem is that we don't ever get down
Yes.
to where the problem started at.
That's right. That's it.
Because the root of the problem was we had a fig tree with no leaf.
That's it.
Now, some of your problems that you have is not external.
That's right.
It's
Internal.
internal.
That's right. That's
And the
right.
problems that you have, nobody can see.
That's right. That's
Because just like the fig tree,
yeah.
see the leaves
Yeah.
cover the fig.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So it seems like it's
Yeah, make it
not
look like.
even
That's right.
any problem.
That's right. Amen.
But
Come on
as
here.
we begin to examine it
My.
and look inside of the leaves,
Hey, God. Thank you.
and we'll realize that it's nothing in there. And so in how to deal with things in your life that to be with it, you got to get down to the root
That's
and the
it.
cause
That's right.
of the problem. And how you get down to that, you kill it
That's it.
with your mouth.
That's right.
You kill it. You go home and start killing some things. Start killing it. Right at the root of the
Yeah,
problem. You talk about, you don't have to live with generation curses.
No, you don't. Amen. No, you don't.
I made up my family had the dumb spirit. You know what the dumb spirit is? You don't know what the dumb spirit is.
Yeah.
I ain't talking the Bible, talking about mute.
Right. Amen. Come on here.
Comprehension.
Right.
Understanding.
Uh-huh.
Didn't value education, I had a dumb spirit. Right? I got rid of that.
That's it.
First my family graduated.
Amen.
Right?
Amen.
You get rid of it, but you gotta get that. They had all types of problems, illness, sickness, disease. I mean, you can name it.
That's right.
Divorce, but I got down to the root of the cause of the problem. Me and my wife got together, first day we made our mind, we gonna get no divorce. She had to deal with crazy traits.
God bless you, First Lady.
Y'all think I'm crazy right there for 30 minutes. 20-something years, do you imagine this, Messiah? That's so old. Rebuke it, Jesus! We were this for a long time. For a long time. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, but that's what I'm talking about. You gotta kill some of that because I decided that my children will not
That's right. That's right.
have to deal with the same thing I had to deal with.
Amen. Amen.
But I had to speak it.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
See, my family, they got frustrated. I'm talking about they didn't understand what to do, so they let the devil have them out. It's like, you know, and I'm about to get out of here. I'm afraid the only one probably got an Uncle Willie. His name may be Willie, but yours may be called something else.
All right now. Amen. Come on here.
He was the family drunk.
Yeah.
He was the family drunk. You take him to cookouts. You want to show off.
Yeah. Show out. Show out. Yeah.
Family reunions.
Show out.
Guaranteed. So yours may not be Uncle Willie, but you got to identify with it. Might be you. Uncle Willie may be right here. Male or female.
That's right. That's right.
Can't take you nowhere about you acting up. Uncle Willie, he was a prophet in his own right. He would prophesy. Now I'm gonna tell you what I mean, and I'm talking about I got a couple minutes. I'm about done. See, I'm about done. He would prophesy. He said, told my sister, said, look, you know if you buy me something to drink, I can't control what I'm about to say. He wouldn't talk. He was like, you, Jay, quiet. I didn't mess with anybody. Look, just quiet, right? You got the joy juice in, right? He's like a muppet. You can't fly with my open. You won't pay a plier. You can't do nothing. You're like, how you doing, Willie? You're a his eye. It's not about first of the month to get that disability check. You're excited, yeah? Right? All right. So he tell everybody. He said, look, you know, if you buy me something to drink,
Wow.
I don't know what's gonna come out my mouth. So here it is. So my mom's, you know, she got tired of the boys in the house. Me, Keith, Willie, and Jody. So she said, you know what? She got a big house. She said, I'll tell y'all what. All y'all gonna move on the 4th floor. Third floor, third floor. Put us all on third floor. Keep it all us on third floor. All us on third floor. We all night owls. We don't have no jobs. This is how we're supposed to be here. So she put Willie up there with us. Now, check this out. So my mom's washing the dishes. I'm gonna go somewhere with this. And she's figuring out, where all my knives at? Willie! Willie put all the knives under the bed. So mom made a bed and stuff, found all the knives and stuff. Anybody with the knives and the man know he got the knives. She said, Willie, what the knives are on the bed? She said, you got your 3 sons up there. Well, listen, I gotta protect myself. She said, "I'm about to shoot. You gotta protect yourself." So Willie did some stuff to when we were younger. We're gonna put it to you. Y'all come too close, I'ma stay. So Willie said to Keith, buy me something to drink. Right? Keith said, yeah. He was like, Keith said, yeah, I'll go to the store and buy you some drinks. So he go ahead. I'm done with my sermon. He go there and buy Willie something to drink. And my mom said, you can't have no ladies in the house. My mom's old school. You have sex, you ain't gonna have it in the house.
Yeah.
Right.
You can have it any way you else, any way you want. But you ain't gonna have no sex in the house.
Amen.
So my mom worked overnight, and Keith had a lady in the bed. And he went to go get Willie something to drink.
Right.
And so now what Willie told you, so you want something Willie said? If you give him something to drink,
He ain't gonna be responsible.
he can respond to come out of his mouth. So he gonna get us something to drink. The lady in the bed with Keith. So all of a sudden she gotta go to the bathroom. Willie hollered. Willie said, what you doing in my bathroom? Right? I ain't gonna talk like Willie.
Yeah,
Right.
I could. I said, what you doing in my bathroom? You got AIDS! I said, you got AIDS and you're sick. You're sick of my tongue and you got AIDS! My brother John is like, oh man. That's like Charlie talking like, you're like, oh man. Willie said, yes sir! Willie, that's my mom. Yes sir! You got this lady that's still with AIDS! She don't get anybody else AIDS! Anybody got AIDS!
Oh, Lord.
oh wow.
He was a prophet.
All right.
And it's a home run. But I'm saying that, you know what? All us is prophets.
That's right.
Whether how you use it. If anything I learned from Willie, one thing I learned from him, if you give him something to drink, he can't control it. It's gonna come out.
That's right. Out of his mouth.
Out of his mouth. We didn't learn nothing else today.
Wow.
You're responsible for what comes out.
That's right. Out of our mouth. Amen. Yes, we are.
Out of our mouth.
That's right. That's right.
Because you got the power to be able to use it the right way.
Yeah.
Greater than any gift that you're going to give somebody
Wow.
is give them a word of encouragement.
That's right.
Give them a word of hope.
That's it.
You know what they need right now, this coming around this time of day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
People need some hope.
Yeah, they do.
Oh,
Yeah, they do.
yes.
That's right.
You
Amen.
see someone living in a circumstance that they shouldn't live in? Speak hope in them.
That's right. That's it. That's
Don't
it.
build them down.
Amen.
Bring them, build them back up. Now, I'm going to close with this. As crazy as I would tell you my Uncle Willie is, he never had any children. He didn't amount to any, and not that much.
And they spent, dealt with mental illness and in jail for wrongful conviction. Because his uncles and his cousins and he was about the same age, they set him up, and all these things happened in his life, and he had to try to medicate his situation. I found out as he got, as I got age that he just couldn't cope with life.
Yeah.
And he didn't know how to do it, and all of us cope with life totally different.
Yeah.
And you know that he'd been in true prison is different than, back then was different than today, and witnessed so many things that he violated, and you can go down the line. And as I got older, people didn't want to talk. And I realized that how messed up that my uncle Willie was at. Because in his later years, he drank, smoked. And, doctors gave up on him. The first time when they said that, that because he had sclerosis of the liver real bad, it was so bad you can see spots all down his back. And my mom's prayed for him, and the spots didn't leave, but the liver was healed.
That's it. Come on, man.
And she'll pray for him, and he'll say, Jesse, I'm gonna get it right. And he kept drinking, despite saying that, and he got cancer in his throat. He got cancer in his throat, and after a while, he couldn't drink anymore because the cancer was in his throat.
Yeah.
And my mama's prayer was this, and I hope this bless somebody, is that, that if you take them, save them.
That's it. Yeah.
And the Bible says some of them is saved by fire,
That's right.
snatched out of hell before hell gets them.
Right.
Read your text.
Come on, that's what the word says.
And she says to me that Spirit God told her that day that he's ready to go. She said he ready to go, And she says that the day before that he got his little wheelchair and he was looking outside.
Wow.
Because this world's not the real world.
Yeah, right.
As you get closer, you can see
That's right.
things in eternity.
Uh-huh.
And she just said he was acting funny, ways that he never acted before. And then my mom says that he laid down, and she just heard some fighting. He's fighting right now. He's fighting because death is coming.
Yeah.
He's fighting. And she said, and the Spirit of God said, go there, go right now. Go right now, and I want you to begin to pray. And she says that all he would begin to Brother Gil was pointing down to his feet. Because now his feet were becoming paralyzed. His feet were now becoming paralyzed. He was just pointing toward it. And he said that you want me to call, she said, you want me to call the paramedics? He said no. And she says that she's tugging now with the devil.
Wow.
Saying, leave him alone, he's mine. She's dealing with him. So she calls on my sister. The one I used to say, you don't know if she's saved or not saved. She got it a little better now. Call on my sister. Call on my sister. And she wants, while she's dealing with the enemy, she wants my sister to also pray.
Yeah.
And she's praying that, because the cancer ate on so bad, it didn't look like It didn't even look like him. Face and everything, just swollen everything. And she began to pray, and began to plead the blood of Jesus, the blood of Jesus. And it gets up to now it's up down to his hips. And then now it's moving from his hips up to his chest.
Jesus.
And it's just wild, and she keeps praying. And praying, Lord, you promised that you're going to save him.
That's right. That's it. That's it.
She promised him that you're going to save him.
Yeah.
She said, will you receive the gift of Jesus Christ? She said, even at the last hour and the last moment, I know, Lord, that you're able to save.
That's right.
She realized that now, realized that eternity now is called. And she understands that right now, that even the imps in hell going to celebrate.
That's right.
Or the angels in heaven going to celebrate.
Yeah.
Brothers and sisters, when we get to that point of our lives, is the devil going to be trying to celebrate and get you alive? But the angels are ready to rejoice for you.
Yeah.
Now it gets up now to his neck. And she says to the woman, do you receive Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior? He says he nodded his head and closed his eyes. Gave up the ghost. And she says that in his death, he looked better than they did when he was alive.
Wow. Wow.
The
Wow.
Bible tells a parable about the man went out to work.
Mm-hmm.
It said he'll work for a penny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He worked all day for that penny. Then some came at the last hour.
That's right. We got the same thing.
They got the same.
That's right. That's what the word says.
What's the moral behind this story? What's the moral behind the penny? Is that some of us going to live right all the way
Mm-hmm.
till we get to heaven.
Yeah. Yeah.
And those who have not done right,
Come on.
haven't lived right,
That's
but
right.
at the last moment,
At the last moment. That's
they
it.
still get the same reward.
That's
That's
right.
called eternal
Eternal life. That's right.
He might didn't do everything that God needed him to do,
Mm.
but the greatest thing that a man can do and we can do
That's right.
to help usher people
Yeah.
into heaven. Why I said that? Because I know there's some people here right now.
Watch out.
There's a fight.
Yeah. Yeah, dear.
There's a struggle going on right now.
Mm. My God.
And you have to make a decision.
Yes.
Who do you want to spend
Turn.
eternity with? Because life is nothing but a vapor.
That's all it is.
You're here today, and you're gone tomorrow.
That's it.
I don't want you to be like the fig tree.
Mm-mm.
Going to church does not save you.
No, it does not.
You can't live off your mother's salvation, your
That's
grandmother's salvation, your aunt's
No, you cannot.
salvation, your
No, you
uncle's
cannot.
salvation, your cousin's salvation. You have to make a conscious decision. And I want you to make a conscious decision this morning. That if you don't know, if you're not sure that you're born again,
My God.
don't leave here
That's right.
unsafe.
That's it. Amen.
You know, I've been right to see. I've been right where you was at. The preacher preach. My hands getting real sweaty. I know something drawing me and letting me know that eternity is calling.
Yes.
And I know right now that the enemy probably tell you, no, that's not real. He told me the same thing. See, he's a father alive.
Yeah, yeah.
So if he tell you that,
Mm-hmm.
you know he's lying.
That's right.
You need to make a decision. And the Bible says it's wrong.